Mae gymdeithas sydd ddim yn ei dim dros ei plant, ddim yn ei llawer gwbl mewn bywyd medden nhw. Mae pobl ifanc yn Cymru yn cael eu cynrychioli gan Gwydion Rhys a hefyd the James Lewis. A society that doesn't stand up for their children can't be standing up for much at all, they say. One generation, you see, plants the trees so that the next generation can have benefit of that particular shade. Representatives of the future, our youth, are here with us today. Gwydion Rhys and James Lewis. Gwydion is from Llanllechlid in North Wales and James from Neath in South Wales, and they consider the writings of soldiers in the First World War.
Oorlogen treffen alle lagen van de maatschappij, maar toch vooral de soldaten. Zoals Willem Vermander het zo treffend zingt: altijd iemands vader, altijd iemands kind. De Welsche jongens Gwydion Rhys en Joe Lewis vertellen nu 2 verhalen over jongens voor wie de oorlog wel een erg bitter avontuur was.
Rydw i'n falch iawn o fod yma heddiw yn cynrychioli ysgol Llanllechyd. Ysgol gynradd sydd wedi ei lleoli ar gyrion pentre Bethesda yng Ngwynedd. Rhyw filltir o'r ysgol y mae tyfu'n dicwm, Tregarth. Yno ar ddechrau'r 20th ganrif, yr oedd John Richard ac Elizabeth Ellen Jones yn byw. Roedd ganddyn nhw 7 o blant, 5 o hobia a 2 ferch. Pa ddaeth y rhyfel, roedd Day yn 40 oed yn rhy ifanc i ymladd. Arhosodd Will gartref i ffermio gyda'i dad ac ymunodd 3 arall ar fyddin. Dick, Jack a Tom yn nhw. Neu, i roi eu henwau llawn iddyn nhw, Richard Jones, John Fawkes Jones a Thomas Richardson Jones. Roedd Jack yn lwcus. Mi gafodd o ddod adra. Roedd o'n beiriannydd modur da iawn a bu'n gwasanaethu fel gyrrwr lori rhwng 1915 a 1919. Ar ddiwedd y rhyfel, daeth yn ôl i ardal Bethesda, lle bu'n cadw'r efail ym Mhentre Llandygau. Hanes gwahanol oedd i Dick a Tom. Yn Lerpwl roedd y ddau'n byw pan ymunon nhw ar King's Liverpool Regiment. Dick efo'r 9th Bataliwn a Tom efo'r 3rd Bataliwn ar 10. Bod Dick rhai blynyddoedd yn hŷn na Tom, dilyn yr un llwybr yn aeth y ddau ar ôl gadael Bethesda i chwilio am waith. Gweithiodd y ddau i ddechrau yn siop ddillad Allinson's Linen Drapers ym Mhenbedw cyn symud i weithio yn Lerpwl. Roedd Dick, fel llawer o bobl y cyfnod, yn berson crefyddol iawn. Yn ei lythyrau adref, bydd yn aml yn cyfeirio at weddio a rhoi ei ffydd yn yw. A thrwy'r cyfan, roedd yn gobeithio am weld diwedd buan i'r rhyfela. Ymunodd Tom ar fyddin yn Rhagfyr yn 1915 ac aeth i Ffrainc yng Ngorffennaf 1916. Gŵr ifanc, deallus, siriol, tyner a gobeithiol iddo. Yn Ionawr 1917, cafodd ei benodol yn swyddog negesau i'r Captain John Hunter, ac roedd gan hwnnw feddwl mawr yno. Cafodd Tom ei ladd ym Mrwydr Aras a fydd hun y Pasg 1907, yn ddim ond 24 oed. A chydig dros flwyddyn ar ôl hynny, ar yr 8 Awst 1908, lladdwyd ei frawd hynaf Dick am Mrwydr Cambrai. Roedd o'n 30 a thair. Mi ddywedais i ar y dechrau fy mod i yma heddiw yn cynrychioli ysgol Llanllechyd. Mae yna 250 o ddisgyblion yn yr ysgol a dim ond un ydw i. 2 ydy Dica Tom, tyfu'n dicw, ond mae hwn cynrychiolwyr 40,000 o Gymru a aeth i ymladd yn y Rhyfel Byd Cyntaf ac yna ddaethant yn ôl. Dwi'n gofio heddiw am Dica Tom, gobeithio y cawn ni gofio hefyd am lleill. Diolch amdano nhw i gyd, a heddwch i'w llwch.
A Welsh soldier of the Great War, Harry Howells. Number 7 John Street, Carmarthen, is now part of the busy Cambrian Arcade in the town shopping precinct. In its time, it has been a wet fish shop, a newsagent's and a fishing tackle shop. In 1917, however, it was home to 22-year-old Harry Howells, who was the youngest of 6 sons and 2 daughters of William and Susanna Howells. His father was a farmer at the time, and Harry grew up at the farm in Llanpumsite, Carmarthen. When Harry left school, he worked as a shop assistant at J. Davis & Son Clothful, Carmarthen. Very little is known about his life at the time, but in a rural community, life probably had a slow pace, and it was a tranquil period. In 1914, following a period of tension, the First World War broke out, and we found ourselves at war with Germany. In a short space of time, the war to end all wars had descended into a bloody conflict, with neither side able to effect a decisive victory. Many pitched battles took place against modern weapons, including artillery and the dreaded machine gun. The only defence was to live in trenches, and to organise attacks from within these trenches. By 1916, both northern France and Belgium were interlaced with trench systems, with the trenches sometimes just yards apart. Like thousands of others, Harry was an early volunteer into this carnage, enlisting into the 15th Battalion of the Welsh Regiment at Bridgend in 1915. After basic training, Harry was posted and landed in France on the 5th of December 1915, now as part of the newly formed 38th Welsh Division, proposed by Prime Minister David Lloyd George. In July 1916, the 38th Welsh Division were ordered to attack the German line at Mametz Wood on the Somme in France. There was a great loss of Welsh life, and Harry was slightly wounded in the action, which was deemed to be a failed attempt. He was taken to a field hospital in France to be treated. A month later, the division was on the move, sent to Ypres salient in Belgium, and there they remained until June 1917. During this time, the men of the 38th spent their time digging trenches, which was back-breaking work due to the marshy conditions and low-lying land. The trenches quickly became waterlogged, and the men lived and slept in hellish conditions, suffering shelling and fearing bullets from German snipers. The part of the salient occupied by the 38th was the northwest of Pilckem Ridge, where at this moment we were all gathered. In 1917, the German army was here. A plan was made by the generals to prepare an assault on the German lines, and the 38th Welsh Division and the Welsh Guards eventually assaulted the Pilckem Ridge, and during that assault, our poet, Hedd Wyn, was mortally wounded, quite close to this spot. That battle, and all others along the line, became universally known as Passchendaele, officially the Third Battle of Ypres. However, much earlier, a lot of work was done to prepare for the battle to come. Harry must have been a very good soldier, because by May 1917, at just 23 years of age, he was a company sergeant major in the Carmarthen Battalion. At this time, there was a plan to mount an attack on the enemy positions at Messines. It was decided to secretly extend the British trenches at Messines, Pilckem Ridge, whilst the Germans were preoccupied with the events at Messines, several miles away. The 38th Welsh Division had already been told they would be playing a major role in the upcoming battle. On the night of the 25th, 26th of May, work began on a new trench leading from the Welsh trench at Pilckem towards the Germans at Caesar Knowe Trench. They got within 50 yards of the Germans. Harry was supervising the effort. He was spotted by a German sniper who opened fire. Harry was hit in the leg. Alive but badly wounded, he was rushed to a hospital at Proven, where an emergency operation was carried out to amputate his leg in an effort to save his life. The next day, he wrote a letter to his mother to allay fears of his demise. He died of his wound later that same day. Many officers wrote to his family, and all praised his abilities as a soldier. Perhaps the most fitting was from Lieutenant J. Williams, MC, who wrote, "The battalion had been specially selected to carry out a very difficult and dangerous job. His son insisted on going with the battalion, although he did not have to go. He was one of the bravest of the brave and a most excellent soldier." Harry Howells is one of the many thousands of Welsh soldiers who were here in 1917, fighting and dying in the fields all around. Not just here, but in all other battles, all over the world, in that war all those years ago. We must remember them.